Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Margaret and Faryn. Hello. Coffee Talk. We're here for our coffee talk. And as you may know or may not know, we decided to do coffee talk because we spend a lot of time talking together and a lot about marketing and how we can support businesses and nonprofits in their marketing efforts. And so we decided to take it live so we could all be together. I'm Margaret. I'm the CEO and founder of Socialize LA. And Faryn, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Faryn Seiden. I'm a marketing strategist with Socialize LA and longtime friend of Margaret.
She really is. Okay. Alrighty. We won't get sentimental here. We are a country apart. I am here in Southern California and she is in DC. So that's the life we live. We once were roommates and high school friends. Can you believe that? Like, that's how far back we go. So we always, once in a while, I'll text her and say, I can't believe we get to work together. So anyway.
So now that everyone's working virtually, it just seems like the norm.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? It's like, this is how we've been working. This Socialize LA is completely virtual. So we have our team completely scattered across the United States. And so nothing has really changed for us at all in any way. We work really well remotely, a lot of times via Slack and Trello, and with emails. I mean, phone calls we do weekly, but really the magic happens over our apps. So yeah. But anyway, I also wanted to point out in the show notes or the caption of this video, you are going to see 3 events. And one of those events we are going to really talk about today, and that is the summer reboot. And then the other events that you see listed are NAWBO events, National Association of Women Business Owners, NAWBO. If you have ever talked to me about business or have been in a room with me networking or whatever, I always bring up NAWBO because it's made a huge impact on my business as an 8-year member. But I have Faryn, I think you cut out for a little bit. Did you notice that?
I know. I think my internet's not behaving right now. I'm trying to switch to a different network.
Okay,
can you
great.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think you kind of glitchy, but hey, this is what happens. So no big deal. We'll figure it out. But I'm just telling them about the events anyway. So, okay. So we have the first event listed is the reboot. We'll talk about that later. The next event is the NAWBOLA Conference. Now, normally, NAWBOLA has an amazing awards gala every June. And with the state of the world, we did not have that in June. And so we have moved the annual event for this instance to be a conference. We have some awesome speakers, great content, and we are going to be doing that August 26th. And you are welcome to join us wherever you are in the world. Also, what's really exciting, Socialize LA will have a virtual booth there. So you'll have the opportunity to talk to some of the Socialize LA team. And we are going to, when we show up at an event, we show up. We come with prizes and with awesome giveaways. And we really want to just give you something to talk about. Okay. We like to make a business, as they say, right, Faryn?
As my Nana would say.
Yeah, as Nana would say.
Making a business.
Uh-huh. So, okay, so that's the NAWBOLA event. Also, if you want to be an exhibitor there, you have the opportunity to do that. So if you want to do business with businesses here in Los Angeles, now is a great time to exhibit. And it's a nominal fee, and it's going to be awesome exposure. So the link is in the show notes. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, next event is the National Association of Women Business Owners, NAWBO. The national organization every year has an annual conference. Now, I'm speaking to you like you might not know anything about NAWBO or anything about this conference, but if you have followed me for any amount of time or the journey of this company, you know that every year there's hashtag NAWBO WBC. Every year it's a different city. Last year we were in Jacksonville. And the most amazing thing about last year was that my sister, who launched her business last year, meetingnerd.com, was with me in Jacksonville. So that was super exciting. But again, state of the world, we are going completely virtual for that event. So the upside of that is that the ticket prices have, I think, basically cut in half. So you can attend for half the price and no travel. And I will tell you that with these virtual events, we have really, when I say we, I mean people in general, we have really come together to make virtual events feel like something special. So NAWBO National is going all out when it comes to wanting the people who are attending to feel like they are at a conference and getting something out of it. So next thing I want to say about that is, again, Socialize LA will have a virtual booth there. And so that's going to be that's like a 6-day event. Don't be overwhelmed. It's all planned out very nicely and recorded, so you don't have to sit in front of your computer for 6 days, but lots of programming just meant a longer time span. But we will have a booth, and we are going to be doing some awesome giveaways, some really great valuable bundles, and we have stocked up on our planners, and we've stocked up on our stickers, and we've even ordered brand new mugs, but this time we're doing tumblers. So they are going to be super cool. I can't wait to get them, and we'll be giving some of those away. Okay, awesome. So I think that Faryn, you and I have a bit of a delay. So everyone just bear with us, because a delay is not going to be the end of the world. Yeah. Okay. So Faryn, I've gone on. Tell us something good.
I don't know. I've been trying to change to a different network.
Darn internet.
You hear me?
I know. I can. Yeah. But then you cut out.
Everything's frozen.
I know. How about just your...
My whole screen is frozen, of course.
How about just your... can you close out any apps? Or is that an old wives' tale? Or is it an old wives' tale? Okay, well, I'm going to... a question that Faryn had for me, and I'm just going to ask myself, Faryn, is... well, actually... Let's talk about the summer reboot. Are you back? Let's see here. Okay, while Faryn's getting situated, I'm going to talk to you about the summer reboot. I don't think that it is a secret that we need collectively a reboot. There's just so much happening, so many variables, so many unknowns. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stick with what I said at the very beginning. And that was, if you plan on being in business at the end of 2020, you are going to want to move forward and not retreat. And of course, you know me, I never want to say anything out of an insensitive place ever. So I don't mean that to be insensitive, but I am saying it to be just to be realistic. If you want to be in business at the end of 2020 and in 2021 and beyond, then it's really important that you do something about it now. So the summer reboot this is its second year in existence, but it's definitely looking a little different. I'm going to add Faryn. Are you back? No. It's looking a little bit different because I took everything into consideration that's happening in the world, and I just made it a little less, but also a lot more. So at the end of the summer reboot, you will have 6 months of planning for your marketing done. So if you really we're going to be sitting here just like this. I'll be in this room, probably more than likely, and we will be working. I have an amazing workbook for you, 6 months of content planned. And you will not be doing it alone. You will have myself, you'll have the Socialize LA team among lots of peers. So you can register for that. It's $47, but there is a promo code in the show notes, Reboot 2020. Sign up. Now, this is the part that makes me get really transparent with you. And the reboot was supposed to be this week, tomorrow, actually. And here's what happened. So if you didn't know, I got COVID, okay, at the end of June. And thankfully, I did not have to go to the hospital or anything like that. But nonetheless, it was a beast. It was a monster. And I was just out. And so the question that Faryn had asked me is, how did COVID impact you as a business owner? And on the surface, it was like, okay, I obviously could not take any calls. I couldn't be in meetings. I couldn't even do work. I could not even, for the first week, I couldn't even get out of bed. So I will say that I'm super lucky and blessed and thankful to have an amazing team at Socialize LA. Give them a round of applause 1,000 times, because I was able to basically forward emails to them and let them deal with everything happening. And really, we have processes that don't even include me. And so I would say building a good team and strong processes was everything during this time. And so, but it was definitely difficult. Hi, Jennifer. It was definitely difficult because as a business owner, you know that you want to be out doing, you want to be, and just as a person, as a professional, I love what I do. I like being active. I mean, I work out 4 days a week. I like to be out. I like to be up, not necessarily out, but I like to be up, walking around, doing things, and I couldn't do anything. Oh, I think she's back. Hi.
Hi, I'm back.
Okay, cool. I love this beautiful room too. So, okay, so Faryn, I was just talking to them about how COVID impacted me as a business owner.
Yes, I can't believe that you had it.
I know. And I didn't even tell anybody at first because I didn't want to worry anybody. I didn't want any sympathy, meaning I didn't want people asking me if I needed dinner or anything, not because I don't think that that's important, because I like bringing people dinner when they're sick.
Of course.
Because I really, that first 10 days, I could only eat 2 things, spinach and cherries. That was it.
Why?
I don't know. It was the only thing. So I always have a box of spinach in my house. Okay. And when they're in season, I like having cherries. So thank goodness I found something that my body would let me eat.
Oh, you and Lenny would get along great. 'Cause he eats cherries, but when he eats the cherries, we have to cut each individual pit out of the cherry, surgically removing each one. So it takes a lot longer than it does for.
I hope that's Nana's job. She probably taught him that.
Yeah. And his dad.
Okay.
So cherries got you through it, and now you're doing better.
Yeah.
Good.
So, but the thing is that when I started feeling better, as you know, sometimes when we're sick with anything, they always say, like, don't get out there too quick, don't do too much too soon. And I totally did that, because
of course,
last week was technically my first week up, like not technically like laying down and sleeping all day. And I thought, oh my gosh, the summer reboot needs to happen like right now. Next week, it's done. And so I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I really was not thinking.
You came back guns blazing.
I really did. And what should have been a telltale sign is that to make the promo video took me a week, when normally that's like, let's just say it's not a week job for me.
Right.
And so I should have known then that I was not ready. But I didn't. And so what we had to do was we had to send an email to the people who have already registered to let them know that we are pushing the summer reboot to August 12th. And you might be looking at me saying, well, you have lots of energy right now. I know, I do. But like in an hour, I might not.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Better be safe than sorry. And not only that, is that as a business owner too, with multiple lines of business, there are other areas of the business that need my attention.
Right.
And so we actually just signed a new client. I can't say who it is just yet, but they are amazing, and they do amazing things for product companies, like getting them on big shows that help you get funded, like Shark Tank. So we have a lot of fun things happening here. And again, you know, we as a company have been impacted by everything happening in the world. We did have clients that had to say, we need to put a pause for whatever reason that was. But we also have, and I noticed it's different industries, but we do have clients that are coming to us. They're like, we need to do this, we need to do that, because they're finding new ways to do business and they need help marketing that. So anyway, I've gone on. Faryn, what do you have to add?
So we're talking about things we're excited about, and just thinking about the power of a reboot kind of got me. So I live in Bethesda, Maryland, just to back up, and the Maryland, the Montgomery County public school system, where my 5-year-old is going to start kindergarten, they made the decision to go completely virtual for the first semester, which I know is pretty typical of a lot of school districts across the country. So thinking about, you know, my personal life and what I've been doing with my kids for the last 5 months, the idea of taking a pause and doing a reboot of what our personal schedule is kind of got me realizing that, you know, what we've been doing day to day, sort of out of a reaction, all of a sudden everything's closed and what are we going to do, isn't necessarily going to work in the long term. So now I'm starting to think about what I should be doing for each of the kids based on their age, based on what they would be doing if they were out and about in the world. Just trying to come up with a new system as we start the school year virtually for a kindergartner with an almost preschooler at home and a newborn. So rebooting what we're going to be doing with the kids, thinking about what supplies they might need, what kind of physical spaces I might want to set up in the house to kind of make it a little bit more conducive to that longer term, having them at home. So I'm sort of doing that reboot on a personal level, in addition to what Margaret and I are going to talk about, where a lot of our clients need to kind of take this time to pause and think about their strategy and reboot marketing strategy for the rest of the year. I'm also doing it from a preschool, elementary, virtual learning at home perspective. So it's been fun, and I'm excited about it, even though it's a little scary. It's also exciting. It's an opportunity that I would never have had otherwise. You just kind of have to look at the positive side of things.
I love that, Faryn. But you bring up a really good point that a lot of women, a lot of parents, not just women, parents are having to shift. And so we're looking at that whole thing as well. So we know that business needs to be almost easier, more seamless, because now our energy has to be like, oh, well, now, Faryn, you are a kindergarten teacher. Right. And so even as someone who Faryn works with, I am extremely I understand that she sends me emails sometimes when I do not want to look at emails, but she knows that, I know that, and that I know that she found a window to get things done, and she always does in an amazing way. And so we all have to be really graceful with everyone. It's like we're all just trying to do the best we can with what we have, and that's, I'm honoring that in my personal life and my professional life.
Absolutely, because I think, and the whole kind of genesis for the concept of the reboot is that we get caught up in the day-to-day. We find a system that works and we replicate it day in and day out, because naturally as humans, we like routine, we like predictability, we like to know what's going to happen next. So you get accomplishment from ticking things off the to-do list, but unless you kind of take a step back to think about higher level goals and priorities, you could lose sight of some really important objectives, as well as, creative ways to kind of reach those. And that's what we're really hoping to accomplish in, the reboot session that's been pushed out to August. But it doesn't really matter when it happens. It's more important that it happens. There's no specific day or milestone by which you need to have a reboot. It's just important to be conscious that you don't want to just keep doing what works without taking a step back every once in a while.
Absolutely. And even saying what isn't working, or I'm doing this, is it really giving me the results I want? And I know a lot of us sit back and we think there's these things that we wish we could do, but we just don't know where to get started.
Exactly. And that's why we're always pushing planning. Planners, setting planning sessions, virtual working. It's all about planning. And I think that a lot of our Flex Your Influence members seem to be getting a lot of comfort and a lot of sense of accomplishment, knowing that they're more actively planning. It's starting to become second nature for more of them, and they're sharing their wins with each other and encouraging each other. And it's been really rewarding to see.
Yeah, I agree. And there is a study about planning, and being as into planning as I am, I need to really get the exact quote on this. But the gist is, if you plan your week or your year at 100%, like you plan every day out, every month, and all of that, the statistics show that 40 to 60% of it will get done. So don't be afraid if you've made a plan and you only get a portion of it done. That's the norm. Why? Because variables come in that you never anticipated, or you might end up going a different route, or you might see another opportunity or another possibility that came up during your plan. But the thing is that if you never have a plan, then you are really just kind of grasping,
reacting. Whatever seems the most urgent at the time is what's going to get your attention.
Exactly. And so, so that's what we're doing with the reboot. And we're so excited to be leading you there, guiding you there. And I want to say something that I've been getting, and I'm not just saying this, but I have been getting messages to our connect@socializela.com email of people who have been buying the planner. And now I love this planner and I use it, and this is the way my mind is structured. But to see other people using it, some are using it a little bit differently than I have, but they're using the content, and they're saying it's a game changer from not getting things done to getting things done, or B, seeing results when before they weren't seeing results. And really all they're doing is getting their own ideas out on a, in strategy and then executing. It's that it's the strategy, execution.
Yeah.
So,
and I think there's comfort in the physical planner. I know that we have the physical planner and we have the digital version. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes the double-edged sword of the technology and the apps and the ease in which everybody can jump in between work and personal life is that maybe people don't sit down to do as much planning. They think they have it in their heads, but there's something very therapeutic, as well as kind of it adds that accountability factor when you take the time to write it down, whether it's digitally or on paper.
Yes.
So that is part of the planning.
Yeah. And I saw some people who had bought the digital version and they printed it out and put it in a 3-ring notebook. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, that is it's beautiful and it works for them. It's like, what works for you? Do it. That's it. That's the bottom line. If you like having it on your iPad and writing with your Apple Pencil, do that. You just need to do what works for you. So, Faryn, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No. Well, one thing that I just wanted to mention, we hope everybody will join us for the summer reboot, but in case you can't, a tip or trick, as we would say, that's something that you want to kind of take the time when you realize that you need a reboot. You can't just sort of reboot as you go. The best way to do it is to kind of set aside a dedicated time and, if you can, space. Get out of your regular workspace. Margaret talks about this all the time when she sneaks off to Disneyland. Go somewhere no, we can't. We're not advocating that people go to Disneyland right now, but find a socially distant spot in nature, or just get out of the normal place where you work for day to day. And that can really help get the creative juices flowing, as well as just it lets your body know, okay, this is different. I'm not just going to sit here and answer emails all day and wait for the next issue to arise. I'm going to turn off my email and proactively take charge of this chunk of time. Take the time to look back, what worked, what didn't. Look forward, what you want to accomplish, and then look for inspiration outside of your day-to-day. That's why you'll see in our blog posts, and we talk about this a lot with the Flex or Influence community, we look at Industry Spotlight, which basically is just a very quick look at what somebody is doing. A small business is doing something that inspires us. So take the time to look outside your industry, and that's where a lot of really fun ideas come from.
Yes, I love that. And you are so good about finding those businesses that are doing awesome things. Faryn, did you know that Disneyland is closed right now?
So did they open and then they closed back down?
No, they had an open date and then they took it away.
So Disneyland is closed, but I think Disney World is open.
Disney World is open. And I can't confirm or deny that I have been on their website dreaming of going, but I'm not. Right now, I just want to enjoy, I'm enjoying my house. I'm enjoying outside and but you can do that anywhere. It does. And we've said that from the get-go. It's like, you don't have to go somewhere fantastic and fancy. You could just get out of turn off your computer even.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Reboot your actual computer. Turn the computer off, because my computer was about to die, and then we realized that we were never actually shutting it off. So PSA, when you're done watching this, turn your computer all the way off, go get something to drink, and then come back.
And turn it on. All right. Well, okay. So you have in the show notes, you have the links to all the events. I'm telling you, if you are a woman business owner, NAWBO is the place to be. It's a place to be inspired. It's a place to be connected. There are chapters across the country, but it's always been part of the NAWBO goal to bring more chapters together online through virtual ways. And so with COVID, they just started doing it. So there's been a lot of programming online. People are doing business with each other. People are being inspired by each other. And NAWBO just isn't about finding new clients. This is like a way to seriously just be a stronger business owner. Half the things that I was able to do during COVID financially, knowing that as a business owner, I have to have reserves. So I never sweat. I didn't sweat. If a client said, I have to pause, you're not going to see me sweating. Why? Because I've prepared. Did anybody lose anything? No, we are just, and these are all just things that I've learned to be a strong business owner from my NAWBO community. So anyway, I love NAWBO, and if you want to know any more information about it, please let me know. Faryn, you're amazing. I will see you on Slack.
Sounds good. Glad you're back up and running.
All right. It's so good to be here. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, right?
Cheers.
Cheers. And next time we'll have our new tumblers too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.